can like feel the pain. And it just all fell apart. That's what I learned. Hi my humans, I'm Malik, and if you are new here, hello, nice to meet you. You look great today. If you've been here before, I'm so grateful that you are back. Wow. What a year this has been. A monstrous year in many ways, but I think I've also learned a lot this year, and so I am really honestly excited because I feel like this is such a thoughtful video that I had to like, you know, I didn't just pick up these ideas and lessons out of nowhere. It's really been reflection on what this year has been. I don't want to say I'm grateful for 2020 because of just, it's literally killed people, but I want to say that I am grateful for what I've been able to learn from it. And I think that that's the silver lining sometimes, that's the perspective, that's the beauty in the horror film, is being able to take something away from it and being able to learn something that you can take with you as you move on and as we go into 2021. The first thing is that this is a journey. And I think that in previous years I understood that, but it wasn't in the form of this is a journey that is going to last you a lifetime. Not a journey that's going to end when you graduate college. Not a journey that's going to end when you get the job of your dreams. All of these societal highlights of your life that it seems like that's when you will have, I guess, arrived. But I have a mentor who says, you never arrive, you know, you're always on this journey. And I think when John Lewis passed away, may he rest in peace, I think he had said something or something along the lines, it came up around his death, that like, this is a journey. And with this year and what we saw with the Black Lives Matter movement, for me, it just made me realize that this is not something that, you know, the things that people are fighting for, the things that people are out there in the streets. I covered protests. I covered, you know, these kind of activist moments as a student journalist. One of the people that I interviewed was like, the things that we are asking for, there's like, these things may not even happen in our lifetime. Equality is not a fight of a week or a month or some sort of, or one summer, right? It is the fight of a lifetime. The fight for the right opportunities that you want in your life. The fight for all of the, you know, the dream car, the dream, you know what I mean? Whatever the dreams you have are, or whatever your ideal life might be, that it's actually not supposed to happen in a year or not supposed to happen in a month. Not that it's not supposed to happen, but I think we look at these people, you know, like Charli D'Amelio, for example, who, you know, overnight it seems grew an astronomical following, has all of these opportunities, all these brand deals, and you start to think like, wait a second, like, could that be me? Like, could I, you know, you compare yourself, could this happen for me that fast? And I think that although you can grow like that fast, you will never, it's still the journey of a lifetime. It's not just a one-shot, one-hit thing, no matter what your journey looks like. It's never gonna be a boom, you're done. Good things take time. And I think that was just such a huge lesson for me this year. Got to start doing flight lessons consistently a little bit. I mean, I'm still figuring everything out, but passed my written test with the FAA and starting flight training.
Okay, watch that climb. Let's get back down to, let's get down to 1100 now. Okay. That's pattern altitude.
Should I be using the rudder right now? Like,
well, if you're returning, yeah, but we're good. Yeah.
But it's fine. Yeah. Okay, because I feel it's like, I know we're drifting.
Yeah. So let's crab a little bit to the right. So there now.
Dreams that took years, right? And you start to see it in fruition, and start to see it manifest in time. And I think that's such a much more important element that people give credit for. My second 2020 lesson was that nothing is permanent. I don't know that I ever thought that things would be permanent. I think I had, learned that, but again, things will come, right? So then again, you're not in the same place, right? Things will come, it may take time. But I think when you look at the big structures in society, you look at people who have been in charge and in power for years and years, decades and decades, and being in journalism, there are people in news leadership who have just been there forever. And someone that I had an interaction with last year actually was fired this year. And so it was really a wake-up call of like, doesn't matter who they are or what place it is, anything you see could be gone tomorrow. Anything that you don't see could be here tomorrow. There are all sorts of opportunities. Anything can happen. And I think, when you look at people who have maybe been negative to you, it's important to remember that no one is, I guess, in charge of like the world, right? Besides God. Like there's no human that is going to be in the position that they're in forever. I also struggle with OCD, and in the beginning of this year was very much struggling, and we were on campus and all of that, so there were a lot of people. When you're in college, you're interacting all the time. I was traveling, so I was doing speaking engagement or stories or whatever it might be, so there was just a lot of stuff happening, a lot of things that were triggers for me happening every single day. And there were times when it was very, very complicated to figure out how I was going to move forward with that while on campus. And times, I try not to go too deep, but times when I was in bed and just did not want to get up because I didn't want to touch anything. I didn't want to be contaminated. And so I would literally just lay in bed kind of depressed on the weekends. And that was extremely unhealthy. And I think it's very easy when you're in a dark situation to think that it is permanent, to think that it is going to happen or going to be a thing forever. And then in March, a global pandemic hit and I was home. So when you really think about it, even though things very much seem permanent while they are in the moment that they're in, especially because like who in the world could predict that every single college in the country was going to be forced to go online? No matter how upsetting or sad your situation is right now, you never know what's coming that could switch it around and make it a lot better for you. So just never forget that. Number 3, on that front, I just want to talk about, I guess, being where you're supposed to be. And I think that with what I was just saying, that like, I definitely thought like, am I supposed to be at college right now? Like I'm doing all these cool journalism works, you definitely have these thoughts all the time, especially I did, because people were always saying to me things along that line of, you have all these kids who I would come into contact with who aren't in college, don't go to school, who are just like, there's no reason you need to be there. Or, or people in college who are just like, I'm shocked you're here. Which makes you question. And I was just thinking like, I think I should be, literally, I kid you not, because I was watching the morning show at the time. I was like, I need to be on set with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, like the end. Like, that's what's gonna happen. And no, a global pandemic sent me back to my bedroom. So I was not where I was supposed to be, clearly, because the world changed that. But at the same time, I wasn't where I thought I needed to be on a set in LA. And I think a lot of the times people think, oh, if I go to this part of the world, my life will get better. Or all my problems will disappear if I could just move to New York. And as a New Yorker, I will tell you that is not true. Maybe you're not where you're supposed to be, but if that's the case, the world will do something about that. You're not just going to be where you're not supposed to be. You are meant to be where you are, and I think, you know, and no matter how terrible or good that sounds to you, just be there. My word of the year, I kid you not, was here. I have it on this giving key. And I'm going to get one for the new year with my new word of the year on it, which stay tuned for a new video if you want to see that. But it says here on my key. And because I just wanted to be more present this year. And I think I learned that being present, being in the moment is a muscle, right? It is not a one-shot thing, again, that like you practice being present, you've got it, you're good. I fall in and out of being present probably every day, right? Like there are days, and sometimes it's just a minute where I just breathe and I'm like, I'm here. I'm in a room in Brooklyn and I'm chilling, you know, or I'm doing my homework, or I'm really, really present. And then there are times where I'm like thinking of Seattle, or thinking of like the Pacific Northwest, which I love, or thinking of, you know, just anything that isn't about being in this moment or being right here, because I want to escape a lot of times, especially since we haven't been able to really travel. I want to go somewhere. Being in the moment is a muscle that gets better with use. It gets stronger with use. So the more you try to be present, the more you smell your surroundings, the more you taste your food, the more you stop and put your phone down and look around you, the more you do those things, the more present you will become, the more you feel the cloth of your clothes, like the more in tune you are with your surroundings and with you internally and externally, I think the more you'll be able to be in the moment. But that's not something that happens overnight. It's a time thing. Wow, I guess we're seeing the theme of this year, kind of time, that it's just not, it doesn't happen like that. My fourth lesson, say less. I feel like I shouldn't say anything. I feel like I should just let it speak for itself. Say less. I will, I just want to quickly say that I realized that there are people who swim by their whole lives and they're saying like a sentence in an email. And I'm just like, why am I writing a whole paragraph? Why am I going on and on explaining myself? And I think you never know when it's hurting you that you're doing that. So I just feel like saying less could be beneficial. Like I don't need to explain every inch of my life to everyone. This one, I'm sure all of you will be able to relate to. I don't know about you, but in March, when we were sent back, it was spring break, and I had got in touch with Lori Siegel, and I was going to go to South by Southwest in Austin. And if you don't know, Austin is a very dreamy, amazing city, and South by Southwest is like a really cool conference, and I was going to be really fun, and we were going to get to do tech stuff and stories and just like figuring things out and meeting people, and boom, COVID. You can have a perfect plan and it not work out. This is life. It was greenlit, I had the opportunity, and it was taken. And other opportunities too. So many opportunities I lost because of COVID. You can have perfect plans that are to a T. You could be so close to getting what you want and it not work out. And it sucks. It especially in the moment when it happens, it's just like, you mean to tell me that I spent all of that time thinking about this, or trying to make this happen, or writing emails, or pitching, or all of this stuff, and it just, what, because of a global pandemic, it's just not happening? Yeah. I can like feel the pain. And it just all fell apart. That's what I learned. That you can work really hard and do the right thing, and, you know, being connects with all the right people, and life can just say, not right now. Thank you. Readjust. Regroup. Reorganize. Redo. I'm really grateful, and I think that, you know, whatever 2021 brings, I'll be able to roll with the punches maybe a little bit better because of this year, and I think maybe a lot of you will too. I would love to hear if 2020 taught you something. I hope that you hit the subscribe button, you hit that like button. I don't even know where the buttons are, I'm just like pointing. Yeah, I just, thank you. Thank you for listening to my lessons and for being here. And I will see you on Friday, my new upload day. Until then, I'm sending you the highest vibes. See you later.